Very pleasant morning, Vinanda. I am Dr. Maajitha from Haji Howdia College, Uttamapalayam, Pena district, and I am very much happy to be a part of this program. And I must thank the organizing secretaries of GRAPS Educational Charitable Trust and the TIFE for encouraging me by providing the Best Social Worker Award in the year of 2022. And I must congratulate all the participants, those who are receiving the awards in this wonderful occasion. Thank you. And during this session, I wish to share my knowledge and point of view and my opinion regarding good academic research practices. So, a Japanese researcher in anesthesiology named Yoshitaka Fujii, he has published 249 papers, and due to some conflicts, 23 scientific journals made a public request for an investigation of Fujii's research, and a committee undertook an examination of 212 papers of him, and finally they found 172 scientific papers has fabricated data. And among this 172, 126 papers is completely fabricated. So what they found, only 3 papers of the 212, only 3 papers were valid. So finally the report stated, it is as if someone sat at a desk and wrote a novel about a research idea. It is not uncommon nowadays, because not only in Japan, in many places like India also, lot of research works and lot of scientific papers contained only that fabricated data. So today I must discuss with you the topic scientific misconduct in research. Scientific or research misconduct contains only 3 kind of what is that? Theft. The local language, it may be a theft. Fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism. So fabrication is making up data or cooking up data, and they reported as well. Falsification is manipulation, the manipulation of images, manipulation of result, changing of the data, or anything, or omitting, neglecting, whatever it may be, it is coming under the falsification. And plagiarism, make others data or result or their findings as our own. So make it others ideas, result, whatever it may be, just as our own. So that is plagiarism. So that's why nowadays publishing a research paper in the journal is not easy. It's not a simple task, because we have to check that plagiarism. So the plagiarism, that step towards very initial step towards getting a good quality of research. So that is the main thing. And how to overcome that research misconduct, how to overcome that scientific misconduct, what are the characters coming under the scientific misconduct, how to avoid that characters coming under the scientific misconduct. That is today we can discuss. Data falsification or fabrication, already discussed. Unethical research. So if we are conducting a research, it must be conducted according to that research ethics. So if it is not followed properly, definitely it is coming under unethical research. And defective data description. So data description must be clear, and we must submit that appropriate description. But if we found something is not regarding that the concerned work, definitely it's coming under defective data description. Image manipulation. So it's image manipulation, changing of images. Undeclared conflict of interest. Conflict of interest comes whenever we are doing that fabrication, falsification, plagiarism. Otherwise, the conflict of interest never arrives. Redundant publication. So redundant publication out of work is not much important in that work. So this kind of publications are known as redundant publications, and we familiarly known that plagiarism, writings, results, whatever it may be, others we are copying from that. Someone copying from others one, that is known as plagiarism. And a set of people are there. They are doing their work, research work with good practices like ideal, sloppy, and unconscious bias. And in other hand, some of the people are there. They are doing fabricated data, falsificated data, and plagiarism with plagiarism. And in between these two, a kind of people are there. They are doing their work with some good research practices and some of the work like fabricated work or falsificated work. So their work coming under questionable. So this kind of work is also known as questionable research practices. These questionable research practices make the work become scientific misconduct. So, in order to overcome this questionable research practices, we must know what are the characters leads towards that questionable research practices. First one is neglecting negative outcomes. So, if we found some negative outcome or negative results, we should not omit that. We should describe with or correlate with other data and using inappropriate statistics to support one's hypothesis. So we must trust ourselves and we must follow the correct practices. Then definitely we can get the original result only, not that faulted one. So we must explain or describe that result with appropriate statistics and inappropriate research design, leaving out relevant controls, inappropriate reuse of controls, and conscious bias. So unconscious bias and conscious bias is very close. So we must aware on that conscious bias and unethical experimentation. And the important one is peer review abuse. So we are abusing that review while publishing in the journals. So in order to overcome this, we have to follow this good research practices. Then only we can produce the good quality of research work and innovative work. Okay, these are the problems. These are coming under the scientific misconduct or research misconduct. Then what is the quality of good research? Sound research question. If you are asking a question towards the research, it may ensure that the researcher to stay on the right track towards the entire period of their research work. So definitely the research question is very important. Each and every step they have to ask the research question in our own. Systematic and approach research methodology. Systematic and approach research methodology. For that they have this systematic then research methodology definitely ensure and helps the researcher to choose the right analytical methods and then collect the relevant data. So that this approach also very important. And then good research acknowledges previous research on the topic. Good research acknowledges previous research on the topic. For this for this point, we have to be very generous. Then only we can acknowledge others' works also. If we acknowledge others' works, definitely we may have um, the right, uh, in which way we are going in the research. So that particular what is that, by studying the scholarly articles and other works related to your that means that researcher subject of interest, you can get an idea what has already been studied and how your work study or fits into existing research. So that is also very important, and the good research is representative and generalizable. So if that researcher represented their work to a larger population, definitely it become generalized. And good research is guided by logic. So people may ask some questions like logic has become the one of the qualities of research. Yes, definitely, because logic generally helps to receive a valid conclusions. So even the valid conclusion, definitely we may know that conclusions is valid or not only by that logic. Even the scientific experiment or results gives that um, the conclusion, it must be good or wrong. It may be a good or wrong result, or any kind of mistakes may be arrive in during that work. So it must be it may find out by the logical idea. And then even the Golesh and his co-workers also supported this view of quality. And good research has external validity. If researcher can be generalized their research findings to other situations and applied to a broader extensions, definitely the study has high external validity. And replicable, reproducible and transparent. Replicable and reproducible both are interchangeable. So if you are using the same data and same analytical methods, we can get the consistent results. Definitely it is one of the good quality to maintain a good research, but it must be transparent, and during that time we must acknowledge that previous researchers acknowledges its limitation and provides suggestions for future research. Actually, a good quality of research definitely opens doors to the future researcher and future research on the topic. So it will be helpful to, in addition to information on data collection and analytical methods in the research. And ethics. So each and every research must be conducted according to the ethical research ethics. So to overcome the misconduct, to be maintained a good quality of research, the institution, that own institution of researchers must have some uh, responsibilities, that is known as institutional research program management. It is also known as Office of Research Integrity. So this Office of Research Integrity definitely encourages and enables a culture of research integrity and provides training. So there are resources, governance structures, models and guidance available for establishing an ORI. And to cultivate and sustain a culture of research integrity, the Office of Research Integrity must be developed a checklist and training programs, and they must give incentives towards the quality of research, not the quantity of research, and deploy a research management and monitoring system to keep the track of grant proposals, research projects, publications and other research projects. Even nowadays NAC is the very important committee to accredit the institutions in the grade system, by the grade system. Recently our college has re-accredited by NAC with A++ grade, but each and before that we are having only A grade, and the second time we got only B grade due to that lacking of research and innovations. And this time then we re-appeal, and this time we got A++. So only by promoting this research and innovations in our college. So likely this is the responsibility of that institution to train the how to maintain the quality of research, and then how to do high standard research should be taught by the institution. And institution can be done the training programs to the researchers, like holding conferences and offering training programs and establishing policies and issuing codes of conduct and protocols at the regular basis. So these all make the researchers to produce innovative ideas and good quality of research. And coming to conflict of interest, so conflict of interest arise when the researcher derives personal gain while acting in an official capacity. So that time we must, the researcher must aware of, abide by the organizational regulations and guidelines. It is very, very important. And to avoid potential conflict of interest, that constitute and follow a policy of complete disclosure, especially with respect to financial conflict. So these and all should be uh, followed while doing a research program. And I must thank the organizers for giving me the wonderful opportunity to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.